Hi everyone, and welcome back to our journey of becoming a fun uncle. A great developer. This is the second part of a 3-part video series where we develop an automation system that allows the fun to find us, instead of us finding for fun. In the previous video, we have successfully used Python to script for the latest events in the area from TWILIO. If you have never scraped a website before or are interested in learning how fun web scraping can be, make sure to check out that video down in the description below. But if you just want to learn about sending SMS messages, you can grab a copy of the code from the previous video down in the description as well. If you come to learn how to send SMS messages through TWILIO, you have come to the right place. In addition to sending a basic SMS message, we will also spend some time to tailor the messages. Make sure it provides relevant and digestible information in just a glance. The first question we will tackle is why TWILIO? There are 53 plus SMS APIs out there. Why do we settle for a red shirts button? Well, as a proud shareholder of TWILIO, yes, I own 0.8% of a share in TWILIO, I feel responsible to support the company's services that I have ownership over. Okay, sorry. I actually chose TWILIO because of its reputation for an easy setup, stable, and scalable solution to send SMS messages. In addition, it has a per-pay-use pricing model at a reasonable cost that even I can get started with. At a low cost of 0.0075 per message, even if I do one message per day, it will still be roughly 25 cents per month. To get started, you first need a TWILIO developer account. So let's head to the website. That's right, it's free to sign up, so let's do that now. Let me read these terms of service before signing up. See you back in an hour. The only downside of using TWILIO is that since it's very secure, it will ask you to verify your email and phone number, which kinda sucks because I will not be able to create a fascinating account. Because my phone number is no good, because our culture numbers have certain meanings. Yeah. Anyway, we now see a greetings page. It is the small thing like this that makes me feel good about using this API. It really doesn't matter what you choose here, but for me, the second option sounds like the one. SMS for which TWILIO product are you here to use, and alerts and notifications for what do you plan to build with TWILIO. Look at that, I have $15.5 to play around with. If you remember our earlier calculations, that means I can have the service run for about 62 weeks. Wow, math is amazing, isn't it? Next step is to create a virtual phone number. In the USA and Canada, you can get one for free. For anyone outside, unfortunately, you will have to upgrade your account. To create a virtual phone number, you would want to focus and follow me closely because any wrong steps might result in a serious catastrophe. Done. I know, very difficult. If you scroll down, you will see all the secrets that you need to use TWILIO service. Make sure that if you are using a trial account like me, you can only send messages to a verified phone number. To add more verified phone numbers, click here. The number I signed up with is automatically verified and is also the number I want to receive messages. If you want to add more numbers, click here and follow their instructions. The process is exactly the same as how we verified our original number. That's all the setup on TWILIO we need. Now we can head to their SMS documentation to start our development. The website is very intuitive. You can find the SMS documentation by clicking on Messages, Quick Start, and choose the language that best suits your case. In our case, it's Python. Alright, it seems like there are two things we need to do. First, install the TWILIO library, and then copy-paste this in to send SMS. Sounds pretty easy. Let's jump back to our favorite development tool, Jupyter. If you forgot how to do it from the last video, don't worry, I will do it again here. First, we fire up our bad boy, Mr. Terminal, in our project folder created from last time. Then we need to install our TWILIO dependency by activating our conda environment and do pip install TWILIO. Then to open Jupyter, deactivate from our environment and type Jupyter Notebook. Open our previous file. If you don't have the file from before, you can create a file here. Now copy the code over. Before we run, make sure we copy over our secrets and obviously replace the body of the message. the from, and the to as well. Let's run it. Awesome! We got back the ID of our message. It looks different from what to expect on the documentation though. Maybe we can get all of that information if we print the message. Nope, the documentation is a bit outdated, I guess. Really, TWILIO? Really? It looks like we can print out each individual piece of information by doing a dot attribute. In this case, we are interested in seeing whether our message has been sent, so we are gonna check the status. Seems like our message got queued. This is only because my account is a trial account. If you pay for the service, it should be pretty much instant. A message should be sent to your phone any minute now. Yep, that's for us. Alright, time to build a meaningful message based on the articles we scraped from the previous video. Let's run through our previous code first to get some suggestions. Awesome! With the article and all the suggestions ready, we can build the message. This is how I envision it. Pretty good, right? I know. For each article, I will start with icons from the activity type and the title. Then we do a numbered list for the suggestions. H is a link that will either redirect to the details of that suggestion or to the map on TWILIO. Create a new cell above this one by clicking A. To construct a similar message, we will start small with an empty string. The idea is that we are going to build the message body by adding to the string over time. Next, we will prepare all our emojis for each activity type using a dictionary. Why a dictionary? A dictionary is a data type allowing us to quickly retrieve a value from a unique key. And since we can treat the activity type names as unique keys, we can set the corresponding values as the correct emojis to help build our message faster and cleaner. And this is a dictionary with all the icons that I want to use. Feel free to be creative here by using emoticons and such, but I like things simple like this. First, we append the activity type emoji and the article title as our first line. Notice that we use lowercase format for all of our keys, so we must make sure that the keys we use to look up the emojis are lowercase as well. Then we loop through each suggestion in a Pythonic way like this. However, we want to build a numbered list, so we are gonna need access to the index, which can be easily done with some small changes like this. For each suggestion, we first adding a new line character to make sure each suggestion is on a new line. Then we append a number, a period, and a telling space. Since the index starts at 0, we are going to do +1 to make the list more human. We then immediately follow up with the suggestion title and href. Let's check it out. Looking legit. Let's see it on the phone as well. Awesome! Now we have a personalized message sent to you about the activities. However, after much thinking, I feel like we're still missing something. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Being a person without a car and not a huge fan of the subway, I'm always conscious of the ability to get to the destination by bus. That's why I think it would be super useful if we can add the ETE from my house. And thanks to Google Places API, that is a dream no more. The best part is that Google Places API is free as well. Hooray! To get started with Google Places API, navigate to the website and click Get Started. Then, just quickly fill out basic information to create a developer account if this is your first time here. You will unfortunately have to input your credit card, but the good thing is you won't be charged automatically. Then, click Start Free Trial, enabling all Google Maps APIs for this project and click Continue. There are lots of different ways to protect your API keys even more by setting up HTTP and IP restrictions, but we are gonna skip it for today. Go to Places API again, Documentation, JavaScript, Web Service. It doesn't say anything about Python, but I know there's a Python library for this, so let's find it. So we need to install Google Maps as one of our dependencies. Checked! Coming back to our Jupyter, we first import our Google Maps library. The library is pretty straightforward as all we need is to create a connection instance of our Google services like this and invoke needed methods from it. In this example, we want to utilize the following 3 methods. First, find place. This takes a place name and return a place ID. Second, takes a place ID and retrieves the place opening hours, because we definitely don't want to get there and find out that the last 2 hours of riding the bus was a waste. Directions, to get a good estimate of how long will it takes to get there. Let's start with the find place method, and we are going to get the place ID of the first suggestion by doing this. I also threw in the word Philadelphia to make sure that it at least searches for the correct city and does not recommend a branch from outer space. Based on the response data, we can extract the place ID by looking into candidates, get the first element, and look into place ID like this. Great! Now let's do the same process again one more time, but this time is for the origin, or the place that we want to start from. For me, I would use my home address, but feel free to use your parents' home address or your company's address. Perfecto! Now let's use the place method to find out the opening hours of the place by passing in the place ID for the destination that we just got. Again, we can retrieve the wanted opening hours text by meticulously indexing through the dictionary. In our case, since I usually go out on Saturday, I will only be focusing on getting this value, and we can do that by doing this. We successfully get the hours text, but I really don't like how the text Saturday is sitting there. We can remove it by doing a little magic of splitting, slicing, and joining like this. First, we split the text into an array separated by a space. Then we ignore the first element, which is the Saturday text, by slicing. And finally, we put them back together by joining. And voila! Piece of gâteau. Time for our final piece of the puzzle, the directions method. In this method, you can specify if you want to travel by driving, walking, bicycling, or public transit. As stated before, I prefer only walking and public transit. The plan is to check for both and send whatever method that takes less time. Let's first get the direction if we decide to walk by doing this. Ooh, there's a lot of data coming back to us, but after a quick glance, this is the data we want to focus on, and we can retrieve it by doing this. Yeah, we definitely aren't walking there. We are going to use the text as part of our message body and the value, which is the same thing but in minutes, to determine if we should walk or take public transit. Let's do another one for finding directions if taking public transit. We can decide if we should walk by doing a simple shorthand check like this. Beautiful. Now let's pull all the cells that are related to building the message body down by shift-clicking all of those cells, and click this till you move all of them all the way down at the bottom. We are going to update the title text to include the opening hours as well. I know the open text is the value for the first suggestion only, but we will focus on that in the next video. Remember, in this video, we are just gathering enough knowledge about sending informative SMS messages only. And last but not least, include the ETA and the recommended travel mode by creating a variable like that and plug it into the message body. And we got the same result. Great work! I'm pretty happy with the layout of this message like this. However, deep inside me, I really want to have these URLs shortened before sending. I guess it will be a good future project, my own URL shortener service. And that concludes our second step to get this project going. We digress a little bit with the Google APIs, but I really think it's worth it. Plus, it kinda satisfies my overly perfectionist disorder. Hopefully, this can help you become more confident in your next SMS sending task. If you want to stay up to date for the final step of this project, where we'll piece everything together and make it run silently every week, make sure you hit that like button. Anyway, if you want to stay up to date with the latest technology programming-wise that I'm going to cover, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.